Welcome back to Eye of the Storm. Today, we have a little bit of a long video. We'll see if we can break it down as it goes along. We won't run it back. We'll try to break it down because it's 5 whole minutes, so we'll break down as it's going. So, headline. Nigerian man spent 20 years in the United Kingdom, but everything ended when the woman he married and brought from Nigeria used the thing he told her against him, leading to his deportation. Why is it always Nigerians in the UK?
So in Nigeria,
I think that's a little bit strange. That's a little bit strange that you tell a woman your weakness. Where have we heard that before? Telling a woman your weakness. Where have we heard that before? Where did we hear that before? Telling a woman your weakness. What does it lead to? So he told her everything. He told her everything. Why are you telling her? I got into a huge fight with some people. I said, don't tell your wife anything. And they're like, how can you not tell your wife? How can you not tell your wife? I said, you don't understand. It is in a woman's nature to use information against you. It's natural. It's natural. Eve knew everything before she gave it to Adam. Right? She already touched the fruit. She already ate the fruit. And she knew right and wrong and still gave it to Adam. Think about that. Adam didn't know because he doesn't know right and wrong. He's naive. He doesn't understand. But she does and still gives him anyway. Think about that. That's layers. Let's listen to him.
After spending 20 years in the UK, has just been deported.
Oh, he's reporting on somebody else?
So, a Nigerian man, after spending 20 years in the UK, has just been deported. You see, sometimes the kind of things you tell people will determine how far they can go with you.
Yeah, that's true. Generally, you don't tell people anything. I keep saying, especially your wife. But people don't understand why. Maybe this will help.
Especially if you've got secrets, there are certain things you should keep only to yourself. Don't share it with people. Even your life partner, there are some things, just keep it to yourself. Don't share it.
Maybe.
So this guy came to the UK 20 years ago.
Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? Being proved right over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
And then when it was time for him to go back, he couldn't go back and he was able to find his way to stay in the country. And then he did what many people call marriage of convenience. I won't bother you with that.
Marriage of convenience, okay. Right, so he found a way to marry a citizen and regularize his stay, okay.
Go and find out what that means. So, and then he was able to stay in the country. He got his indefinite leave to remain. Indefinite leave to remain is just like a permit that is given to you to stay in the country legally, all right? So, and this guy was almost 50 years old.
50 years old, did a marriage of convenience, obtained the right to permanently remain. So, he's not yet a citizen, but he has the right to be in the country in order to maintain the marriage which he contracted, as we understand it to be a marriage of convenience.
So he called his mom and said, Mom, I've been in the UK for a very long time now. I haven't been able to get a wife. Will you be able to see if there's any good person around? The mom said, oh yes, there's a...
Very, very interesting. He's 50 years old and he wants a wife. Perhaps a man who is 50, who has worked hard, will think about a wife, likely because he wants children to whom he can leave things. And I've not covered it properly, but Joy Taylor says that a legacy is meaningless. That a man who tries to work hard and pass things down to his children, even if they do remember you, you're still dead. And even if they do remember you, that memory or whatever that may be can be gone within 1 or 2 generations. Whether it's wealth or memories or whatever the case may be. I find it difficult to disagree with that position. But where a man has established himself, is it natural to want a wife? I think the men generally, as has been established, are the more romantic gender. People like say men are not romantic, but actually they're the most romantic. When you think about it, they are.
Lady who has a single child here, she's such a good lady in the community, and she's in her late 30s. So
a single mother in her late 30s. What could go wrong?
So you can get married to her. And the guy said, okay. They linked them up. This guy was able to see her.
And this is where the whole age appropriate myth comes in, where people believe if you're of a certain age, you can only marry women of a certain age. And I will always reject that premise. I will always reject it. As far as I'm concerned, if you're 50, don't get married. That's one. 2, if you must get married, you must marry, you cannot, you should not, and you must not marry a woman who is older than 20. As far as I'm concerned, do not marry a woman older than 20. That's the line I think people should draw, quite honestly.
He was happy with her, and they got married. But prior to that, I think I told the lady everything because he was in love, shared many of the information.
Why are you telling her this thing? Why? So this is the problem with men. Men are very, very, some men are very, very boring. You don't have interesting stories. You don't know how to tell stories. You don't read stories. So you tell people everything about yourself. Why? You meet somebody today and before the day is done, the person knows everything about you. Why?
Had some secret he shouldn't have told her. He told her and all of that. And this lady came to the UK. And before this, the guy had operation, which the doctor had told him that you may not be able to father a child because of this operation, because it has affected your testicles and all of that.
So he probably had some kind of cancer, and maybe that may have caused something. So let's see.
So the guy said, okay, no problem. And then he told this lady that, you see, I won't be able to father a child because of this operation that I've had. As such, are you happy to? The lady said, no problem. We already have a child. The lady had got a child out of wedlock from someone.
So he just wants a companion. He can't even have a child. I thought initially that he wanted a wife so he could have a child. And I'll say this one final time for those in the back. Marriage is only for the purpose of children. Marriage is only for the purpose of children. If you don't want children, don't get married. Because what point is there where you can just have the companionship? What's the purpose of getting married if it's not for the purpose of having children within the framework of marriage? It's completely retarded. And with a single mother already, come on, bro. This is not what's wrong with women. This is what's wrong with men.
He said, no problem. This child is mine. The man said, I'll take this child like my own. I'm going to train this child as we trust.
Oh my God, training another man's child. Yeah, this is not the woman's fault. This is a man who should know better and has volunteered to be an idiot. What man of his own metal, worth the cloth he puts on his back, would sit down and raise a child that belongs to somebody else? What man would do that? Why would you do that?
God, I believe in miracles. So I was able to bring the lady and her daughter to the UK here. And then they were living together.
Oh, and it's a female. Oh, that it won't work.
And then just 9 months into their wedding, the lady got pregnant. The guy was like, wow, glory be to God. I believe in miracle. The guy was singing, dancing, shouting, and all of that. Called his mom and said, Mom, my wife is pregnant. Mom was happy. Yes, everybody was happy. Not knowing that something had gone behind. So.
Oh, he believes in miracles. So, yeah, there are people who have that belief that if they take up someone else's child, they'll get there. Oof, fucking hell.
Before the lady came in, she used to have so many boyfriends back in Nigeria.
Single mother, of course.
And one of those guys whom she was dating, hit her up before she finally came to the UK. And that's how this lady got pregnant. So the guy was like, but the doctor told me I'm not able to father a child, even though I believe in miracles. But the lady started misbehaving, started behaving awkward, rudely, anyhow,
Yes, she got the bag. She got the bag. I've done a lot of cases. Well, no, I'm not done, but I've seen a lot of cases where the woman is very, very nice. Once she gets married, she flips into something else. I've seen these testimonies in court. Sworn testimonies of people who confess or who, testify that their wives were wonderful, dutiful, humble. And then the minute they moved into the husband's house or something like that, just complete flip, complete 180, 270, everything just goes left. And I can imagine that being a fucking nightmare.
The way some women behave and all of that. The guy was shocked. He started accusing him, started abusing him. You useless man that you cannot father a child. Yeah. It's almost word for word, bar for bar. I've literally seen this testimony in court before.
I've seen it.
I became suspicious. And what did he do? When the child was almost like 1 year old, the man decided to do a DNA test. That's why he discovered he had nothing to do with that child. That child is not his. And to make the story even worse, when he came back, he has been seeing series of messages in her phone, but he hadn't taken them serious. So this time around, when he did the DNA, now everything linked up. The lady was chatting with the boyfriend back in Nigeria. Yeah, I have a baby for us now. Once I get my own stay in this country, I'll file a way to bring you in and all of that.
Wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. You're a 50-year-old man and you still ask mommy and daddy to set you up with a woman. And they set you up with a single mother and you agree. There's something wrong. Something is very, very, very wrong.
The man got angry, met her and said, you see, you've been a very dubious person. You've been a cheater, you've been a terrible person. And as such, I don't think I'll continue this marriage with you. And before I come back, pack your things and go.
Okay.
Even this child that you have is not mine, so go and take care of the child. When the man told her, he left the house, and then before he could come back, this lady had called the home office. What did she tell the home office? She told the home office that the man who brought her to this country,
Trafficking. Let's see.
Brought her illegally. That the man does not even have the right to be in the country because his stay in the country was based on arranged marriage. He arranged to marry someone who made it look like he can now stay in the country legally, and they are not even staying with the same person. They have no business with the person, and now he has brought her to the country. So that's how the home office swung. They like that kind of news. They swung into action, investigated, did their finding, and discovered it was true. And then straight away, they just arrested him, and no stories. The next thing, deportation. Do you have any sympathy for this man? Do you think he should have shared that part of the information with this woman, or because you think he was crazily in love? Let me hear your opinion.
Well, okay, it's a complete narration, so whether it's true or not is irrelevant, really. The point is that you, as a man, should not tell a woman your business. Just don't. And I mean, honestly, part of the reason we're here, part of the reason we're doing this show is because I said this same thing to men, and I was cancelled for it by men. Things were taken from me. My show was taken from me. I'm like, I'm telling you something that is true, but you are not able to fathom that the sissy world you grew up in, your sissy outlook on women has been challenged and shattered. So you lash out. Anyways, this is telling what's wrong with men. Man, leave a like, subscribe. You can just come.
After centuries of sleep, of nothingness, I have returned. Something comes back to me. I was great once. Feared. Yes, so weak now. Must find blood. Once I was strong. Powerful beyond measure. Beyond imagining.
I invoke the ancient pact of binding. Once more, the wicked stand before us, threatening the sacred communion between your realm and mine.
We have been here before. We watch your petty world slumbering. You cannot defy the cold of our steel. You can only surrender.
I saw a long ship made of the claws of dead men. The raids drove everyone to the shore. My daughter too. No man who meets the hunt returns to this world.
I returned.